The Chicago field director for U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement is out. He's leaving his job. Political reporter Paris Schutz is live to explain what this means for Operation Midway Blitz. Paris?
Terrence, we sat down with the new field director here in Chicago, Director Samuel Olson, who is replacing Russell Hott, who is leaving to take another position. Olson was stationed here before Operation Midway Blitz for a year, and no topic was off limits. We asked all the pertinent questions, but we started with the arrest of a Hanover Park police officer, Officer Bojevich, who DHS says overstayed his visa in 2015 and is an illegal immigrant. But the village of Hanover Park says he had federal work authorization this year. I asked the director if they detained a legal resident of the United States.
Yeah, he overstayed his visa. He was, admitted on a visa, and he overstayed that visa for nearly a decade. So he doesn't have any lawful status in the U.S. I mean, he did, USCIS, which is Citizenship and Immigration Service, did issue him a work authorization card, but he didn't have any lawful status here in the U.S.
So if CIS is issuing him a work authorization card, is that a mistake on their part to not flag that he did not have lawful status?
It might not be a mistake. I mean, like the one thing with talking about some of the immigration law, it's very nuanced, it's very complex, right? I think that it's just probably second to like tax law, just the complexity of it. And so there's different ways that somebody could, like they might be here illegally, but they might apply for some type of benefit or some type of asylum, and then through that application, they might be authorized to work during that time frame while they wait for that application, but still have no legal status.
Is he violating any law if he gets the work authorization? And per Illinois law, with his documentation, he was allowed to become a police officer.
And I think that's where the rub is on this, right? Where we have some state laws that conflict with the federal law, because with his status, his immigration status, by federal law, he wasn't authorized to have that weapon.
And we also talked about the contention at the Broadview ICE facility, why DHS was not letting media or public officials in to visit. We talked about whether or not there were indiscriminate stops, racial profiling. We talked about why the majority of those being detained are not violent criminals. He said that they are targeting violent criminals, but if other undocumented residents are on the location, on premises, they question them, they can detain them and deport them. Here's some of that answer.
What does ICE use as reasonable suspicion to be able to question somebody and then detain them?
Mm-hmm. Our officers are highly trained, right? We go through many-month academy to be able to even get out on the street to perform enforcement operations. And like I said, most of our targeting, what we do is targeted enforcement, so we know a lot about the subject before we even go out into the field. So we're already going to know that somebody's amenable to arrest and amenable to removal from the U.S. And when we're out there doing target enforcement and encounter somebody who's not a target, that's when our officers are trained to how to question, right? They're trained into different indicators that can lead us to suspect that somebody could be here illegally. And sometimes we do use the consensual encounter, and that's just like, any law enforcement officer has that right, just like you or I on the street could ask somebody if they want to talk to us. As long as that person feels free to leave, then we're good. Then it's not really a stop at that point.
Do folks have to have their citizenship or their status paperwork on them when ICE stops them?
I don't know. I'd have to look into the law to be sure, but there are. If somebody who is here legally, like an alien who is here legally, usually like a lawful permanent resident, there is statutes that do state exactly what they should have with them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've seen. I mean, obviously, you've seen the stories of flower vendors being taken, tamale vendors. We do have all kinds of stories of federal agents basically engaging in chases and engaging in what folks describe as profiling. Is ICE doing that? Are ICE agents profiling people? Are they conducting indiscriminate operations where they did not target somebody, but they might view somebody and say, we have suspicion that this person, we're going to go question this person.
I mean, we don't profile. That's not what we do. We have, I think, in custody in the Chicago AOR, which covers 6 states, we probably have nearly 100 different nationalities detained. Right? We're not profiling a certain nationality. We're not going after somebody from a certain country at all.
An important distinction that the ICE director wanted to make was that there's ICE and then there's Customs and Border Patrol. Customs and Border Patrol has been conducting some of those high-profile raids, like the Black Hawk helicopter in South Shore, some of those chases, not ICE. And then there's the federal court ruling today, the judge saying she wants all of these federal agents to wear body cameras. He did not say whether or not they would do that, but he did say they do comply with all federal court rulings. Much more on this exclusive interview at 5 and tonight at 9. Terrence?
All right, Paris, thank you.